Hey, what's going on out there, Silverback Nation? You're in the jungle with Patrick and Rico. We've got a Thursday night football game to discuss and make some money on. The Minnesota Vikings are traveling to Philadelphia to take on the defending NFC champions. So crack open a high noon and let's talk football. Salute, Silverback Nation. So Monday night was a weird night in football. We were 1-2. For the season now in the NFL, 8 wins, 4 losses. We're up 3.38 units. What does that mean? That means if you're $100 better, you're up $338 with us. All the NFL bets, I do with my pal T-Bone. He's an NFL expert. I'm a sports handicapper. Every week together, we spend hours going back and forth. Same way that the lines makers do with FanDuel, DraftKings, all those books. What they do is the computer generates a line. Then all their experts sit together, go over back and forth, talk about what they think the line should be. T-Bone and I do the same thing, and we deliver what we think are the best bets for you every single video for the NFL. Pick number 1, we like Jalen Hurts anytime rushing touchdown. It's -10 right now on FanDuel. Now, last year, Jalen Hurts was tied for second in rushing touchdowns in the NFL, and he missed 2 games. He had 13 rushing touchdowns in only 15 games. That's 86% of the time he had a rushing touchdown in a game. He was tied in second with Austin Eckler and Derrick Henry as a quarterback. Here's a list of players that Jalen Hurts had more rushing touchdowns than last year. Nick Chubb, Josh Jacobs, Miles Sanders, Dalvin Cook, Tony Pollard, and he doubled Josh Allen's rushing touchdowns. And Josh Allen's the quarterback everyone wants to bet on his anytime rushing touchdown. Jalen Hurts doubled that last year. Now, Gainwell, their halfback one, is out on Thursday. That means they'll rely even more on Jalen Hurts to run the ball, especially in the red zone. Last season, Philadelphia Eagles led the NFL by a mile in rushing touchdowns. They had 32 rushing touchdowns on the season. Next closest was Dallas at a distant 24. Minnesota Vikings last year were terrible against the run. Gave up 18 rushing touchdowns, which was ninth worst in the NFL. This is a recipe. This screams, this combination of Minnesota, Philadelphia, Jalen Hurts getting in the end zone at -110 for us on FanDuel. Lock that in, nation. Pick number 2, we have Justin Jefferson, anytime touchdown, +105 on FanDuel. Jefferson, 8 touchdowns last season, led the NFL with 184 targets, led the NFL with 128 catches. Kirk Cousins threw the ball 44 times in week 1, so you know what they're looking to do this season. And he hooked up with Jefferson 9 times for 150 yards. They're going to have to keep pace with the Philadelphia Eagles, and Justin Jefferson is going to be the guy he looks to. Look for him to get in the end zone for us Thursday night against the Eagles. Pick number 3 is a parlay, and both these bets are shaved. They're alternate lines, okay? So here's the parlay, and it's +104 right now on FanDuel. It's the Vikings +7.5, so I have to find that in the alternate spreads. And it's the under of 58.5, and you have to find that in the alternate total. Okay, so Vikings +7.5 parlayed with the under 58.5. Now let's talk about this. This line opened at 7.5, okay, and the sharp money came in on it, and they moved it to 6.5. Now, some of you don't know what sharp money is, and some do. So if you do, please bear with me. But if you don't, I'm going to let people know why we're making this bet here. Sharp money versus public money. Public money is what the average bettors do. Sharp money is what, they're the cats who make a living betting sports. They come in with heavy bets, 100,000, 200,000, 500,000, million. When those heavy bettors come in on one side, that moves the line. So all the sharp money came in on Minnesota +7.5, and that dropped it down to 6.5 because now the books want people to take the Eagles, only given 6.5 instead of 7.5 to even that out in case that +7.5 hits. That means that the sharp money really liked the Vikings with 7.5 points, and we liked that too. We liked it before we even looked at the sharp money, and we like it now even more that we know that the sharp money is all over the Vikings with 7.5 points. We looked to the over and under, okay? We moved it up, we sliced it and moved the under up to 58.5. Both these teams played last year in only 4 games where the total went over 58.5, 4 times each of 17 games. So that means that out of 34 games between the two of them. 8 times they went over. That's only 23.5%, or how I like to put it, 76.5% of the time they were both on the underside of 58.5 points. We like that. We think it's going to stay there. Week 1, Minnesota's game ended up with a total of 37, and Philly's game ended up with a total of 45. We love the Vikings with 7.5, parlayed with the under 58.5 for plus money. Have a great night, Silverback Nation. Enjoy the games. Any questions you have about this game, any other bets you want to make, if you want our opinion, I'll answer it. T-Bone can answer it in the comment section too. Any input you want, any other bets you have, like on Monday night, someone asked me a question if I liked anyone to score a receiving touchdown. I said, I didn't bet it, but if I did, I would go with Garrett Wilson. He ended up hitting. I didn't bet it, but that's the kind of advice that people can ask for, and we're happy to answer it, guys. It's one community, man. We win together, we lose together. We're having fun doing this, and we're able to do it because of your support. So let's make some money together. Have an awesome day, and we'll see you next time with a little more money in your pocket.